Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be discussing my Zoon bike that I got off Amazon, and I'll provide the link below. I've done 3 previous videos on this bike, and one of the videos I talked about the awkwardness of how it rides. Now, I've put another 100 miles on this bike since that video, and I would have to say that that awkwardness has subsided a little bit. It doesn't feel as awkward anymore because I've gotten used to the placement. So I think if you put some time on the bike, that you'll find that you get enjoyment out of the bike, and you start working muscles that you normally don't use on a normal bike. And I found that my shoulder muscles have actually benefited by the fact that you're gonna have to put some weight on your shoulders. I'm gonna sit on the bike because that was what the question was on my channel was, you know, could you sit on the bike and show us what you mean about that awkwardness? And I'm gonna do that right now. Okay. So I'm sitting where I normally sit on a bicycle. This is where I feel comfortable sitting with my feet being able to be on the pedal. See where my fingertips are on the bike handles? And I normally like to sit like this on a bike. It's comfortable, my back's straight. Here I've got to bend over just a little bit to grip these. And by doing so, because my body is even with the bike itself, I have to put a little bit of weight on my shoulders to do this. And that's where I meant the awkward is. When you get done riding this bike, you feel it in your shoulders. But now that I've put miles and miles and miles on the bike, that awkwardness is gone. So I'm getting used to this feel. Now, the bike itself performs very well on all terrains. I've taken it in the rain, I've taken it on off-road, high grass, some hills, whatnot. It performs very well. The e-bike portion of this bike is hands down great. I mean, going up hills is okay. I'm gonna do an acceleration test on this bike later this week, like I did on my old Smart Travel bike, and see how that works. But I haven't had any problems with the hills with this bike, so we should be good there. Now, if I back up to put my body back more to get more padding underneath me, that distance is even further, so that means I've got to bend over even more. And I had mentioned in the previous video that this cushion could be a little bit more cushion, so long rides, you start feeling like you're sitting on plywood. You'll get used to that. I mean, it's not bad. It's a little, you know, long rides is where you're gonna really feel it. But the bike itself has more padding where I'm sitting now, but it forces you to lean more forward to get that, you know, this is just, I must look awkward right now on this bike. So this is where I feel comfortable sitting. There's not a lot of padding here, so the manufacturer probably just needs to add a springier padding, or just beef up this padding a little bit. You know, if you're going for a short ride, you're not gonna have a problem. You'll be fine. It's not gonna be that problematic on your backside. It's just that when you're on the bike for 3 hours, then you start feeling like, oh, this feels like I'm sitting on plywood sometimes. Other than that, I would just want to also mention that the tires are performing great. They're digging right into where they need to dig in. The e-bike portion of it really makes it go. Now, I had mentioned in another video that, you know, I wasn't getting the top speeds that they were saying I was going to get, you know, on the website, the 34 miles an hour. I have been getting it up to 28 without a problem now. I think it might have been the wind resistance and my weight that was slowing it down. So when I really want to go, I just bend over a little bit more just so the wind resistance doesn't hit me as much. So I can get it up to 28 miles an hour, which I think is just fine. Your state laws are going to probably cap what your bike's supposed to be going, which is 28 miles an hour. I believe in most states, if you go over that, you're in violation of their e-bike laws. So, you know, I've got videos that I've talked about that. What else can I say about it? Night riding is a gem. Bright headlight, no problem there. I put these extra lights on it. These light up. Those are some extra lights. So all in all, I just wanted to show you what I meant, because I had some questions around awkwardness, you know, what I meant by it feels awkward when you drive it. But again, after putting hundreds of miles on this bike, that awkwardness is pretty much gone. and I'm now used to driving this bike. All right, well, thank you for joining me, and this has been the Darkest Zone.